Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Glory Millstone, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. I'll say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a quick sit-down lesson through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Shai on this August the 11th, 2022 at 12:28 a.m. on this Thursday morning in the a.m. And the highlight of this Salakia. And the title of this sit-down lesson is going to be, if a house be divided again against itself, how can it stand? And this is the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand, right? Because you're seeing what's going on with the Trump got his merry-go-round house of his residence that he was living in Florida. Got raided by the you-know-what. And, the both sides taking shots at one another on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, because they were saying that the people on the left-hand side had something to do with that, and that kind of stirs up the little, the tensions between the people that's on the left and for the people that's on the right, especially with the political thing that's going on. So, that kind of makes the tensions increased now more than ever. The people that's on the liberal side and the people that's on the conservative side. So you're going to see those tensions increase now more than ever, especially heading into if Trump is going to make his announcement for president of 2024. Even though that's a wild ways to go, because that's 2 more years down the road. But that's something that's gonna be like in the future of more division between the both sides, people on the liberal side and one on the conservative side, because the people on the liberal side, they getting blamed for this raid of Trump's residency, so they blaming it on the liberal side. Then you got the Trump supporters. They definitely didn't like the idea that, his Trump's residence got raided by some personal identification papers or something like that, personal papers or whatever. And then, the conservatives and Trump supporters putting all the blame on the liberal. So that's why I brought out the scripture of Mark 3 and 25. If a house be divided against itself, how shall it stand? Because we already look at divided states of America. It's not the United States of America. It's really the divided states of America, if you look at it from a political standpoint. Even though I'm not trying to get really political or nothing like that. But, that's, just a prime examples of a nation that's being divided, that the United States that's being divided on many different issues, if it can be a economic issue, gender equality issue, or many other issues as well too, because you're gonna have people that's pro with of a thing of what they believe in, and the others is going to be anti-against of the people that's pro-with of the certain things of what they believe in. So both sides is not going to agree with the same thing. Now, in the past, they might have some common ground, but throughout the years, in the decades, when it comes to conservative views and liberal views, it haven't been so quite good between both sides. So that's why I brought out the scripture of Mark 3 and 25. If a house be divided, how shall it stand? How can it stand? And it cannot stand. I'm gonna bring out one more scripture as well too. Then I'm gonna close out the lesson. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Oh, damn, I ain't spelled the right Slocky. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 19 verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. What's the modern day, the modern day Egyptians is the North Americans, here in North America. Because you can tell North America, it resembles modern day Egypt. Because you look on the back of the dollar bill with the pyramids and stuff. And then you can look at this as the modern day Roman Empire. The infrastructure, it looks like Rome all over again. Modern day Egypt, modern day Rome all over again as well too. That's why the modern day Egyptians, which is the Americans, because you're gonna have that class division between the liberals, conservative, and the conservatives. You're gonna have the division between the liberals, and the conservatives. They're gonna continue to clash it out, and it can be any category, from an economic standpoint. It could be a gender equality. It could be from other race of people that's coming in the country illegally, but I'm not gonna say the names, because they gonna look at them as not American citizens, like they did a couple of years back when Trump had got into office, and then the racial tensions had stirred up. So this is going to be a future thing that's about to happen again, if Donald Trump make his presidential announcement in 2024. For 2024, as he have his bid again to run for president in 2024, because that's going to be in the future. 2 years 2 years down, 2 years down the line, and it's going to be entice more divisions between the liberals and the conservatives, especially after this FBI raid Trump's residency with documentations. I don't know what it's about, but you have conservative Trump supporters blaming liberals of this issue. So that goes to show you prime examples. They should set the modern day Egyptian against the Egyptian. And that's what we're going to see, In times, it's going to get physical as well, too. We're going to enter that point, but not right now at the moment, But it's going to get physical between the two sides, It might be verbally right now, taking shots at one another, They put the blame on the conservatives, or they put the blame on liberals. That's why they going back and forth at it with each other. That's why I brought out Mark 3 and 25. If a house be divided against itself, how shall it stand? That's why they call it. That's why we call it the divided states of America. It's not the United States of America, because not everybody is fully united in this country. It's divided. That's why I call it the divided. That's why I call it the divided states of America in the book of Mark 3 verse 25. If a house be divided against itself, how shall it stand? And this place is not standing of people in different groups, of different factors of groups that they associate with. I think either she probably in now or she probably went back outside. So, so that's just prime examples of nations not fully united with one another, because you're gonna have two different sides, the liberal side and the conservative side. So that's why it says, how can a house be divided? How a house should stand if it be divided against itself. And then I'm gonna read Isaiah 19:2, because I haven't read the full thing, because I was just breaking down about that. It says, Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor. Right, we're going to see that as well too. Hell, you might have a liberal, especially over there in Portland, because you had the Antifas going against the alt-right. You're going to see that increase once back again as well too, especially when that election time hits. So that's going to be in the near future. Lord willing, we live to see that, even though that's 2 years down the road. Once Trump make his potential 2024 presidential bid announcement for running for president again. That's if he be able to do that, because he got this FBI raid thing on him. So I don't know if that'll affect his presidency bid. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. But hey, that's why it got I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. They shall fight against one another, against their brothers, and everyone against his neighbors. Right? Because especially like I mentioned, as I said for an example, because you got, even though Portland used to be a liberal city, now I believe it turning back into conservative, because you're gonna have in the near future, once again, clashes between Antifa, which is they supported by the liberals, and then you're gonna have the conservative alt-right. They're gonna continue to clash it out against one another as well too. And sometimes it might not be a political thing. It might be some other issues they might have against one another. So that's why the United States is not united with one another. It's divided against one another. That's why I call it the divided states of America. That's why I brought out that scripture, Mark, the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 25. If a house be divided against itself, how shall it stand? And then Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptian against Egyptians, and kingdom against kingdom. You're gonna see that as well too. Because you're gonna have different Idumeans of different countries going against the American Babylonians as well too. Because you're gonna have these modern day Babylonians, modern day Egyptian Babylonians going against one another. That's gonna increase, especially in the near future and current as well too. That's why it's going to be continual division between the nations and different factors of these nations that associate they safe with, if this on the liberal side or the left hand side, or on the conservative right hand side as well too. So with that, hope this quick sit-down lesson was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom and above.